Thank you, Stephen. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to our February All-Stakeholder meeting for the Summer EBT program, known as SUMBUCS. My name is Osmar Meza, and I am one of the analysts assisting with the SUMBUCS implementation. I'll hand it over to Valeria, who will start with a few housekeeping slides to familiarize you with the meeting controls. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Osmar. Hello, my name is Valeria Gonay Montoya. I'm one of the analysts working on the SUMBUCS program. As you may have noted, this is a Zoom webinar. This webinar will be held in listen-only mode. The meeting invitation also provides the option to connect to audio via phone or computer, depending on your preference. This webinar will be recorded. As soon as the recording becomes available, you may follow the YouTube link on the SUMBUCS page or go to CDSS YouTube website to access the video recording. Next slide, please. While this webinar is in listen-only mode, we are providing you with a way to ask questions. You can ask about the program and today's content by using the Q&A section. To do so, please select the Q&A button located on the toolbar at the bottom of your screen. You're welcome to submit a question at any time during the webinar, and they will be collected and answered at the end of the webinar during the Q&A period. Next slide, please. We're also offering the chat feature in addition to Q&A. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. Share your name, location, and organization if applicable. Note that when using this feature, you have the option to select everyone, which is the default, or to select a specific participant to send your chat to. If you're having any logistical issues, you can use the chat function to ask for support from one of our co-hosts, Ruben Guerra, who is handling logistics today. To do so, go to Meeting Controls, select Ruben Guerra in the dropdown, type in your logistic question, and hit Enter. Ruben will then respond and provide you with the answer to your question. The chat feature is to be used for logistical questions only. All program questions should be asked in the Q&A section so we can better keep track of, respond to, and document the questions. Next slide, please. In today's meeting, we will provide a brief background and an overview of SUMBUCS to ensure everyone is on the same page. Pardon. We will also share 2024 highlights, including outcomes, outreach efforts, disaster response, and customer service. We will also discuss 2025 program planning, including important information to remember for the year ahead, and providing an update for the interim plan for operations and management, and the plan for operations and management. And as always, we'll go over our next meeting and we'll provide some time for questions and answers. And with that being said, I will hand it over to Karen to get started. Next slide, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karen, and I'm a manager in the SUMBUCS team. First, we'll do a quick overview of the SUMBUCS program. Next slide, please. Thank you. Before we get into specifics, we want to define terminology that will be important to know to understand upcoming slides. One of the requirements for Sunbucks eligibility is that a child attend a school that participates in the National School Lunch Program, also known as NSLP, or the School Breakfast Program, also known as S-EBT. The NSLP and S-EBT are federal programs available to qualifying schools that serve meals to students. It is overseen by the Department of Agriculture and administered by the California Department of Education. These programs are federal and state reimbursement programs for healthy quality meals served and meet federal requirements. Schools that operate NSLP and S-EBT are required to offer free or reduced price meals to eligible children. Another term we may refer to throughout this presentation is the summer operational period. For California, the summer operational period is June 1st through September 1st. The Department of Education reviewed available school calendars and found that over 90% of California schools are on break during this time. In California, the compulsory age to attend school for children is ages 6 through 18. So when we say school age, we are referring to children between the ages of 6 and 18. Lastly, you will hear CEP or Provision 2 School. CEP stands for Community Eligibility Provision School. CEP or Provision 2 schools allow the nation's highest poverty schools and districts to serve breakfast and lunch at no cost to all enrolled students without collecting household applications. Next slide, please. Thank you. So what are Sunbucks? The Sunbucks program helps families with school-age children buy groceries during the summer months when kids might not have access to school meals. In California, eligible kids receive one lump sum of $120 of Sunbucks food benefits that are loaded onto an electronic benefit transfer card, EBT card for short, for June, July, and August during the summer operational period. Sunbucks can be used just like a debit card to buy food like fruits, vegetables, meat, whole grains, and dairy at grocery stores, also farmers markets and other places that accept CalFresh benefits. Children who get Sunbucks can still participate in other summer meal programs. Unfortunately, Sunbucks cannot be used for hot foods, pet foods, cleaning or household supplies, personal hygiene items, or medicine. In short, Sunbucks benefits work like CalFresh benefits. Next slide, please. The Sunbucks ABCs of eligibility are presented here. Group B and C in the mango color on the right are those automatically enrolled due to streamlined certification. These include children receiving CalFresh, CalWorks, Medi-Cal under 185% of the federal poverty level, or who are certified for free or reduced price meals, whether that be through direct certification, categorical eligibility, or NSLP S-EBT application. A much smaller group of children is Group A who are not streamlined certified, those in the tomato color on the left. These children need to apply by submitting the Universal Benefit Application template. In the following slides, we will go over additional details regarding the new Universal Benefits application. Next slide, please. For Sunbucks 2025, CDE is releasing a new Universal Benefits application to be used when determining Sunbucks eligibility. The UBA will be available for provision schools, that's again, community eligibility provision or provision 2 schools, to make Sunbucks eligibility determinations for non-directly certified students. Local education agencies, also known as LEAs, can use the template to customize their systems. In addition, the application template will be accessible to families and can be printed, completed and used to submit to the respective LEA or local education agency. With that said, unlike summer 2024, we will not accept alternative income forms as applications for the SunBucks program in 2025. Any applications will have to come through the Universal Benefits Application or UBA. We'll have more information to share as details regarding the Universal Benefits Application are finalized. Next slide, please. Oh, 1 second. Okay, thank you. It is important to note that children who get supplemental security income or state supplementary payment, also known as SSI SSP, or the Adoption Assistance Program, can also get Medi-Cal, but may not be certified at or under 185% of the federal poverty level and will need to apply through the child school or the UBA application. For 2025 eligibility, families must submit a school meals application or the UBA to their child's school by September 1st. Next slide, please. Thank you. We also note that California's Universal School Meal Program provides free school meals to every child, regardless of whether they are eligible for free or reduced price meals as defined by the federal government. It's important to not equate receiving free school meals as eligibility for SunBucks. UMP participants do not automatically get SunBucks and may need to submit a school meal application or universal benefits application with their child's school by September 1st in order to be eligible to SunBucks. And now I will hand it over to Osmar Mesa to go over our 2024 highlights. Thank you. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Karen. Just want to point out that we now are supporting our Spanish interpreter room. So please, if you need that service, feel free to use that room. And you can do so by using the instructions provided in the chat from Ruben Guerra. Now, again, thank you, Karen. Hello, everyone. I'm introducing myself again. My name is Osmar Mesa, and I'm an analyst in the SunBucks team. Let's talk about our SunBucks program outcomes and highlights of 2024. Next slide, please. As we complete benefit issuances for SunBucks of 2024, we will release a preliminary report that will detail the actions taken and outcomes achieved during the first year of the SunBucks program. This report will be available in the coming weeks. Additionally, we've received stakeholder interest in obtaining card issuance data by county, and we are happy to announce the data will be available in our final outcomes report, which is anticipated to be released in summer 2025. Next slide, please. Here's a preliminary look at our SunBucks outcomes from summer 2024, using our most recent data as of February 9th, 2025. In total, families have pinned 4,293,688 cards for a pin rate of 76.7%. The value of the benefits on those cards is $515,233,518. Of those benefits, families have spent $497,650,892.85, which is approximately 96.5% of the value of the pinned cards. What this tells us is that once families get those cards and are able to activate them, they are spending almost all of those benefits, which really highlights the importance of this program and the need that is out there in the community. The chart on the right looks at the total number of cards that we've mailed out. We have the same 4.29 million cards with pins selected. And we also have 341,920 cards that were undeliverable. This results in 964,775 cards that were neither returned as undeliverable nor pinned. We have finalized 2024-2025 Sunbucks issuances as of January 23rd, 2025. We anticipate that some of the recently mailed cards will move over into the pinned column as time goes on. It's worth noting that some of those 964,775 cards may have gone to the wrong address due to bad data or to families moving, some of whom may have called into the call center to get a replacement card. Moreover, some cards may have gone to families that simply chose not to participate in the program. Now, I'll hand it over to Bernardo to go over our outreach efforts. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Osmar. Good afternoon. My name is Bernardo, and I am an analyst in the Sunbucks team. We've used the various methods of outreach and education to inform families on the Sunbucks program, including these all-stakeholder meetings, which are posted to the CDSS YouTube channel. We'll share a link to the YouTube channel in the chat. Next slide, please. We're happy to announce the Sunbucks January 2025 newsletter is complete and available for use via the CDSS Sunbucks Partners page. This publication will be translated in Sunbucks' top threshold languages and are forthcoming. We'll share a link to the Partners page in the chat for ease of reference. Now let's talk about our Sunbucks automated messaging campaigns. Next slide, please. Automated messaging consists of emails, text messages, and phone calls that are sent to families whose children are eligible for Sunbucks. Automated messaging has become a great way to notify Sunbucks benefit recipients of important information regarding their benefits. In this slide, we present our current automated messaging campaign timeline. To recap, for stage 1, automated messaging started in May 2024 and ended August 2024. 1,483,219 total messages were sent to families whose children were directly certified as Sunbucks eligible during stage 1. For stage 2, automated messaging started on September 3rd, 2024 and ended January 2025. 451 total messages were sent to families who were captured after stage 1 issuances. For benefit expungement, automated messaging started on August 16th and continues weekly as needed until May 2025. As of February 11, 2025, 1,466,155 total messages have been sent to notify families that their Sunbucks EBT card has more than $0 on their Sunbucks card, and to be sure to use Sunbucks before they expire, or federally known as expunge. And finally, a total of 225,356 disaster response automated messaging was sent to notify families to contact the Sunbucks helpline to report food loss that was purchased with Sunbucks due to a recent disaster. We'll cover the disaster messaging in a few slides, and for more information, please visit our Sunbucks website. I'll hand it over to Giselle to go over Sunbucks disaster response. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Bernardo. Good afternoon. My name is Giselle Sangolki, and I am an analyst in the Sunbucks program. We will now look at Sunbucks disaster response. Next slide, please. Latest timely reporting extensions. The timely reporting extension, TRE, provides additional time for impacted Sunbucks households to report their food loss due to the recent wildfires and power outages. The standard 10-day timeframe to report an incident of Sunbucks food loss is extended to 30 days. The table displayed on this slide shows that we have an extension to the TRE for Los Angeles and Ventura counties due to the Southern California fires and prolonged power outages. That extends until March 6th. Additionally, we had TREs for Riverside, Kern, and San Bernardino counties, also due to the Southern California fires and prolonged power outages that ended on February 5th and 6th. Households in the impacted zip codes that were affected by recent wildfires and power outages can make a request for the replacement of Sunbucks benefits by calling 877-328-9677. Approved requests will have benefits reissued within 40 days. Next slide, please. Automated messaging for disaster response. Sunbucks sends out automated messages to households regarding benefit replacements when a timely reporting extension, or a TRE, is approved for a county. Emails and text messages are sent out in English and Spanish to families living in the specific zip codes and counties affected by the current disasters. For Los Angeles, Ventura, Riverside, Kern, and San Bernardino counties, messages were sent out on January 27th to the 29th with more information about the TRE. Additional messages were sent to Los Angeles and Ventura counties due to the extension of the TRE on February 11th and the 12th. In addition, more detailed information about disaster response is available on the Sunbucks website. Next slide, please. Now, we will transition to customer service. Next slide, please. Customer service is a huge piece to the success of the program. The helpline phone number is provided on the slide and can also be found in the card mailer, on the back of the Sunbucks cards, and on our website. The call center helps families with PIN setup, car replacements, provide expungement dates, address changes, both general and complex eligibility questions, and field escalations to CDSS and CDE as necessary. Escalations could include requests for benefit replacement due to household misfortune and eligibility disputes. Next slide, please. Now, we'd like to share some data on the calls received in the past 2 months since our last meeting. The first table shows the total number of calls received in October, broken down by language, for a total of 81,024 calls. The second table shows the calls received for November, also broken down by language, for a total of 51,735 calls. The third table shows calls received from December for a total of 55,052 calls. The fourth table shows calls received from January for a total of 43,262 calls. Overall, we continue to see a steady decrease in total calls per month when compared to the highest call month, July. In July, the total calls were 189,569 calls. Call volume is decreasing likely to fewer cards issuances during this time when compared to the first stage of card issuances during the summer. For January 2025, the largest number of calls were regarding benefit expungement, eligibility question, PIN issues, and card mailing status. Next slide, please. Duplicate card issuances. The Sunbucks team has been made aware that there are some instances in which families are receiving more than one Sunbucks card for the same child. As a reminder, each eligible child is entitled to only one issuance of $120 for the period. If a child receives more than one issuance, the family must notify the Sunbucks helpline immediately by calling 877-328-9677 and must destroy the extra card received. Now, I'll hand things over to Jeremy to go over our 2025 program planning. Next slide, please.
Hi, Jeremy. Your sound isn't coming through.
How's that? Is that working now?
Yep, now I got you.
Okay, interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you, Giselle. My name is Jeremy Pagan, and I'm a manager in the Sunbucks team. Let's transition to our 2025 program planning. Next slide, please. We kick things off by introducing our new and improved card design. On the top of the screen is the preliminary design for the front and back of the 2025 card. We note that the back of the card may not be yellow in the final design. Sunbucks benefits are provided on an electronic benefit transfer card, or EBT card. One card is issued per eligible child for the entirety of summer. The Code of Federal Regulations requires that benefits be expunged or removed 122 days from when the benefits are loaded onto the card. Benefits cannot be reloaded to cards once they've been removed. Families who also receive CalFresh should prioritize using their Sunbucks cards first before they expire. We'd like to note that the expungement date is not noted on the card or any accompanying documents. Customers may contact the Sunbucks helpline if they would like to know their card expungement date. For enhanced security, we encourage cardholders to download the free EBT Edge mobile app to create a PIN and to learn how to protect their benefits. This tool will provide Sunbucks cardholders with enhanced card security features, including the ability to freeze or unfreeze the card, change their PIN, and check their balance. More information can be found at www.ebt.ca.gov. Next slide, please. We want to highlight some key points that will carry over from 2024 to 2025. First is streamlined eligibility. As shown in an earlier slide, streamlined eligibility exists for children who are 6 to 18 years old and receive CalFresh, CalWorks, or Medi-Cal at or below the 185% of the federal poverty level, and children who are 0 through 22 years old and attending a school that operates national school lunch and/or school breakfast programs and are certified for free or reduced price meals. We would like to note that children attending a CEP or provision school will have to apply for Sunbucks this year, where last year a lot of those children were automatically eligible from school census data, also known as alternative income forms. To ensure families receive their Sunbucks EBT cards, it is crucial to keep addresses up to date with both schools and county welfare departments, as Sunbucks EBT cards for streamlined eligible children are mailed to the address at their school and/or county welfare department, if applicable. Additionally, we would like to remind everyone that getting a Sunbucks card does not impact immigration status. And as always, please visit the Sunbucks webpage for the most up-to-date information. Next slide, please. In the last webinar, we mentioned that our IPOM, or Interim Plan for Operations and Management, was approved. Since then, we have submitted our POM proper to FNS on December 20th, 2024, and have received valuable feedback. The POM is a detailed plan that states, territories, and tribal organizations must submit to FNS to operate the Sunbucks program. It outlines how they will identify, enroll, and issue benefits to eligible children, along with detailing other program operational plans and waiver requests. As a result of FNS feedback, we have revised a couple of key items in our POM. Specifically, the FNS will not allow the use of alternative income forms for the 2025 eligibility period. CDE is working on creating a compliant application template, as mentioned previously. This application template will be available on the websites, and LEAs can use them to customize their systems. The application template will be accessible to families and can be printed, completed, and used to submit to their respective LEAs. Next slide, please. Now let's look ahead to summer 2025. The Sunbucks team is planning for an even more successful operational year in 2025, working towards solutions to issue benefits quicker, focusing on increased access to program and exploring data sources to expand automatic eligibility. We are currently working on finalizing our 2025 POM revisions and hoping for FNS approval soon. The 2025 POM includes waiver requests identified as critical to the success of the program. These waivers will allow us to issue benefits efficiently and increase program access. Some of the waivers we are requesting for 2025 are, due to California's large size, we're requesting sending out our first stage of issuances starting on May 19th and mailing out daily until all cards have been delivered, which should be mid-July. Secondly, we are requesting to issue cards in monthly batches for subsequent months in order to allow for the time it takes to receive, deduplicate, print, and mail cards. And finally, hearings and appeals waiver in order to allow for any state-level appeals to be handled using our escalations process until a full Office of Administrative Hearings process is in place. We are working with our card vendor and data teams to streamline our data processes to provide efficient and consistent program access for all and expand automatic eligibility. And we are actively engaged with the USDA regarding these waivers to ensure a seamless approval process. We'll have more information to share as our 2025 program plan continues to develop. Now I'll hand it over to Osmar to cover our Q&A section. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Jeremy. Let's review the Q&A section together. But before we do that, a quick reminder that this webinar was recorded. A link to all presentation materials will be published on the website once available. Please note, these require time and patience for ADA accessibility and translation. You can find recordings from our prior stakeholder webinars on the Sunbucks playlist as part of the CDSS YouTube channel. You can see the link to the page on the slide. Now, We'd like to hear from you. What questions do you have? You can ask your questions using the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen, and we will respond verbally and in writing. Now I'll go over the questions that have already been asked and answered throughout the webinar. So go ahead and go into our answered questions, and we have first from Itzel Gutierrez, when is the estimated date for CDE to release the UBA? And the answer to that question is CDE is targeting to release the UBA templates by the end of this month, February. Now, hello. Our second question is, will families who submitted an alternative income form for 2025 before the August 31st deadline have to reapply using the UBA? The answer is California will not receive a waiver from USDA to continue the use of the alternative income form for the summer 2025 Sunbucks program. Therefore, families of students at Community Eligibility Provision CEP and Provision 2 P2 schools will need to submit UBAs to be determined eligible for 2025 Sunbucks. Our third question is, can families get the UBA online, or will it have to be from their school? The answer to that is the UBA template will be available on the CDSS website for families to access, print, and submit to their school. The template will also be shared with schools directly. Next question is, will the new cards be chipped? The answer to that is Sunbucks EBT cards for 2025 will be mag stripe. Next up, will the 2025 EBT cards have the chip feature? And once again, the answer to that is Sunbucks EBT cards for 2025 will be mag stripe. And our final question, as we wait for others to be answered, we have, will old cards be reloaded, or will everyone get new cards? The answer to that is new EBT cards will be issued for 2025. And now I see that there are still some questions pending and some others coming in. So while we wait for those answers, please hold. And we have one question come in. It says, how come some homes don't receive their Sunbucks card till the end of summer? The answer to that question is, due to the amount of cards that must go out, cards are issued in batches within the EBT vendor's capacity, and it takes us the entire summer. And thank you all for your questions. We have some pending questions in the chat. As we receive answers, we will be answering those. Thank you for your patience. All right. We have one question come in. It states and asks, is the rollout alphabetical again? The answer to that question is yes. The rollout of issuances is alphabetical again. We have another question. It asks, what is a UBA? The answer to that is, the UBA is the Universal Benefits Application. The UBA is the Universal Benefits Application, which will be used to determine eligibility for Sunbucks. We have another question. It states and asks, do we have any stats on the families who did not PIN and use their Sunbucks cards, such as their eligibility? Like if they were automatically eligible, it would be interesting to see if there was a pattern. The answer to that question is CDSS is working on a final outcomes report that will be released in summer of 2025 and will provide PIN rates by county. And follow up, we have a question. It asks, is the rollout alphabetical by first or last name? The answer to that question is by last name. We have another question. It says, you mentioned Sunbucks disaster response, will kids in LA County who get disaster CalFresh be streamlined certified for 2025 Sunbucks? The answer to that question is, we are currently working with the USDA to identify whether children enrolled in disaster SNAP benefits are automatically eligible. If so, we will work with our data team toward capturing this group. We cannot provide a timeline this will take to implement. We're having a lot of great questions, so please, we thank you for your patience as we wait for an answer. We have a question that came in. It says, could you please repeat the waivers CDSS applied for? So the answer to that is, some of the waivers we are requesting for 2025 are, due to California's large size, we're requesting to send our first stage of issuances starting on May 19 and mailing out daily until all cards have been delivered. We are requesting to issue cards in monthly batches for subsequent months in order to allow for the time it takes to receive, deduplicate, print, and mail. And we are requesting a hearings and appeals waiver in order to allow for any state level appeals to be handled using our escalations process until a full Office of Administrative Hearings process is in place. And we have one more question. It asks, can you explain how the alphabetical process works? The answer to that is, EBT cards are mailed in alphabetical order by last name, starting with the letter A and going through Z. We have two more questions come in. Well, we're going to wait for an answer for those. Thank you. All right, we have a question asking, to confirm, the UBA will not ask for immigration status information, right? The answer to that is correct. The UBA will not ask for immigration status information, and it notes that submitting the application will not hurt an individual's immigration status. We have 2 more questions in the queue. Thank you, everyone, for your wonderful questions and for your patience. Okay, we have another question. It asks, will there be UBAs available in multiple languages? The answer to that question is LEAs will receive an English template that can be translated into other languages as needed. Our next question is, how are families being informed about Sunbucks 2025? The answer to that question is via social media blasts, robo messaging, physical mailers, town hall meetings, and more. And we do want to note that as these items are released, we will be sharing them with all of you through our webinars. We have 3 more questions in the queue. Okay, we have, so UBA is only for families who are not directly certified through CalFresh, Medi-Cal, etc. The answer to that question is the UBA is for families of children at CEP and P2 schools who are not directly certified through CalFresh, CalWorks, or Medi-Cal at or below 185% of the federal poverty level, and who are not categorically eligible based on migrant, homeless, or foster status.
Hey, Osmar, I'm going to jump in and clarify that a little bit for those folks in the crowd who don't understand the acronym. So the CEP and P2, that refers to what we were talking about on some of the earlier slides with the community eligibility provision. That's what CEP stands for, or P2, which stands for provision 2. So those are schools where the entirety of the population is automatically eligible for free and reduced price meals without needing to submit an application. And those kids are not automatically eligible for Sunbucks. And so the UBA is to help make sure that we have an avenue for those kids to get Sunbucks benefits.
Thank you, Stephen. Our following question is, will an ACWDL be issued for 2025 Sunbucks? The answer to that is yes, we will be releasing an ACWDL for 2025 Sunbucks. We have a question asking, how soon do you anticipate the UBA to be available, and to confirm it must be submitted by September 1st? The answer to that question is CDE is targeting to share the UBA template by the end of this month, February. Applications must be submitted on or before September 1st to qualify students for 2025 SUMBUCS. Another question it asks, will this program continue in 2026? The answer to that question is, as of today, CDSS anticipates that the SUMBUCS program will continue in 2026. And now we have 3 more minutes. We are definitely seeing a lot of questions come in. Please note that's in about, well, we might actually have to cut the question session and move on to the next one. We're just going to answer this last one, and we will be giving you an avenue to provide us with your questions, as we know that this is of great importance to everyone. So let's answer this last question. If the status changes during the time rollouts, can they call the SUMBUCS line and fill out an application? The answer to that is, if a household's income changes during the 2025 SUMBUCS eligibility period, they may submit a new UBA on or before September 1st of 2025. So with that, we don't have too much time left, so we will go ahead and provide you with an avenue for your questions in the next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, so very quickly, our next meeting will be on Tuesday, April 15th from 2 to 3 p.m. Be on the lookout for an invite to the next meeting. We will be conducting bi-monthly meetings and resume monthly meetings once we are closer to the summer 2025 operational period. Meanwhile, feel free to email any pending questions to sumbucks@dss.ca.gov. Also, remember that all meeting materials will be sent out to everyone on the email distribution list once they become available. Next slide, please. And so, thank you all for your participation, and we look forward to seeing you in the next meeting. Now, we do have a few questions that were answered, so we will be answering those right before we end. But that is, so UBAs are not for kids at FRPM schools. Wondering if this families happen to have not completed an NSLP form, if they can use a UBA. The answer to this is correct. UBAs are only required for students attending a provision school, CEP or P2. Students that are attending a standard counting and claiming school where meal applications are required, then the meal application eligibility determination will be used to establish SUMBUCS eligibility. And now our final question, what is the SUMBUCS social media page? The answer to that, we will go ahead and post that in the chat. And that is essentially the www.cdss.ca.gov/SUMBUCS. Thank you, Ruben. As Ruben has posted, the link is in the chat. And with that, we will go ahead and conclude our meeting. Thank you, everyone.